Let's talk about the brothers and sisters who make baby after baby after baby after baby, understanding with each baby they are further and further away from actually being able to take care of the first one, and the second to last one, and the third to last one. I said, it is my belief that animals don't have to pay bills. And when animals make babies, they make babies void of contemplating how they're going to pay rent or the clothes they're going to buy for their young. I then said, I believe it is very primitive and very animalistic for Black people to make so many babies that they cannot afford, especially understanding the conditions that we're in. Poverty is the worst to Black people in America. So I said, we're making babies like we don't have moral obligation and monetary responsibilities. But fine, we don't have to call those people out and say they're behaving like animals. We don't have to do that. Yes.
Check the text.
Those making entirely too much babies because they may benefit from some government programs or because they just have no regard for the fact that children are going to have to live harder because they don't have enough resources. What am I supposed to call these people? I'm going to ask you all in the chat room right now. What do you call the child molester? You actually have a problem with me calling the pedophile an animal? You actually have a problem with me calling the murderer of Black people senseless murders, not self-defense, none of that. I'm jealous that he might be trying to talk to my wife. Or I'm jealous that he has a nicer chain than I got. And if he don't give up his chain, I'm gonna kill him. Because he got a chain that I can't afford. What do we call people like that? Is animal a bad word? Savage is good. I like savage. Savage will run. But you see, family, I just believe personally, that the problem wasn't really with the word that I use and who it was directed to. The problem was the fact that I no longer live in the hood. So you get acclimated to not reading because it's not prerequisite to survival in many instances. And what I need people to do, the people that are 50 years old bragging about I stay in the hood, you don't have the adversity that the 15-year-old to 35-year-old has, and a little bit extended on both sides. I hope you hear what I'm saying. When people are 50 years old, I'm watching these 50-year-old men do their thing online. I stay in the hood, you know what I mean? I'm helping my community. I'm helping my community, you know what I mean? I stay in the community, you know what I mean? And you know, I stay in the community. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, you know. But when you hear him, you'll know. You'll know who I'm talking about. So what if you stay in the community, you know what I mean? So what? You're over 50. You trying to convince these young brothers to stay in that atmosphere is dangerous. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's dangerous because those young brothers are dealing with situations and scenarios that may not see them through after. They may not see those situations through after 35. They may not even make it to 30. I know what it's like to be my age and living in the hood. There are a lot more risk at hand that I'm susceptible to as opposed to the 50-year-old Black man. He's at risk too of a number of things. He's at risk too. However, no one is more at risk in our hoods than our young teenagers trying to make it into their 30s. So we got to be considerate to their age. And this thing that I didn't mention him on the Breakfast Club, I don't even know how that's spreading. Because if you listen to the interview, I mentioned him at least 3 times, at least 2 times, I believe 3 times. I mentioned Red Pill, Blue Pill, Know the Ledge Radio, that is. I mentioned Underground Railroad, and I definitely mentioned Sinetta. I don't know where this rumor is coming from that I didn't mention him. I made a concerted effort to mention that brother. I believe I mentioned him 3 times, but I know I definitely mentioned him at least twice. And in fact, I believe I'm the only person who's encountered brothers and sisters from the conscious community, whether it be Dick Gregory or whoever, who actually took the time out to give these guys any acknowledgement. I think I'm the only person that did that. And I can be corrected. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But I went out my way to big up Know the Ledge and say Red and Blue Pill. I went out my way to say Brother Rich, Black Magic 363. I went out my way to say Black News 102, Sinetta Studios. Big up to my brother Sinetta. I forced it into conversation when I was asked a question. Someone asked me a question that I made sure I threw my man's name right up in the equation. So what do you think is going to help Black people in this? Well, controlling our own media platforms such as. That's a man who sat here and said, man, when the opportunity comes, don't miss it. Throw these brothers out. And I didn't squeeze it in somewhere where it didn't belong. I said, hold on real quick. What we going to do, we going to give Sinetta immunity because that's my man. So we going to give him immunity. But go ahead. You can light everybody else on fire.
If you say that, brother, and I'm with you. Polight give him the pass and he got the pass. You know what I'm saying? But when Polight riding, I'm riding. That's what we got to say. Fair.
But each time I fought it, only because I look in my daughter's eyes and I refuse to be a failure to them. The only motivation I had, if I didn't have children, I'd be a sucker right in the hood. Being shamed and embarrassed by brothers picking on me. Because I'm trying a new lifestyle of not being a gangbanger when people piss me off or disrespect me. It's only because of my children. They give me fight to do what I do. So when people say, oh, you only care about your family, that is an underestimation. I more than care about my family. And I accept all my brothers and sisters as my family. Especially the good brothers that's like Sinetta that's doing his platform, and Brother Rich doing his platform, and Red and Blue Pill doing their platform, and Brother Simon doing his. I respect all of them. But I went through some stuff up here from our own people. And most of them was conscious or leaders of organizations. And the only people I could truly forgive was the gang members. But everybody else, I got to look at them like, damn, you did me dirtier than the gang members, man. I didn't expect much from them when I got conscious. I expect them to make fun of me because I'm reading books.